I'm Cyrus Nabipoor. I'm a trumpeter, composer, and band leader. In December, I'll be recording my debut studio album, In Lieu of Tears. The album's called that because that's really what it is, songs that serve in lieu of tears. I have a really hard time crying. More specifically, I never can seem to cry in grief. In happiness and joy, I'm actually really prone to shedding some tears, even, at Disney movies. But when it comes to sorrow and hardship, it doesn't really happen for me. I will find myself at a time where I think it would feel so good to cry right now. This would be a perfect opportunity, and it doesn't really happen. I know I'm not alone in this experience. I released my previous live record in 2020, and a lot happens in 2 years. I left New Orleans, my home of 8 formative years. I suffered the financial disaster of a freelance musician during COVID. One of my closest loved ones was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I myself was diagnosed with cancer and had 2 organs removed to be rid of it. In that whole span of events, my body really only allowed me one brief cry. I often asked myself, what's wrong with me? Am I that emotionally repressed? In asking these questions and searching for answers, I actually found something really amazing and beautiful. I found that I was writing music that really meant something to me on a deep personal level. I've come to understand composition to be a really essential part of my grieving process. It's therapeutic and cathartic. This realization has led me to a whole new set of priorities and values as a songwriter. I've learned the value of storytelling and the power of vulnerability. As a storyteller, introspection and scrutiny of the world around me is a moral and professional duty. This evolution of perspective has resulted in some of the best songs I've ever written. We're going to be recording this album at Dead Aunt Thelma's studio in Portland, Oregon, engineered by Sasha Mueller, one of the best engineers around. The band is Micah Hummel on drums, Garrett Baxter on bass, Jack Radziff on guitar, and Leon Cotter on tenor sax. These 4 have been playing my music for the last couple of years, and in that time we've grown really close. There's a beautiful level of trust and playfulness, respect, and handle my music with care, and also elevate it with their amazing voices. To cover all the costs of this album, I need to raise $9,000. This money will go towards paying the musicians, studio time and engineering fees, mixing and mastering, art, video, printing physical CDs, and a publicity campaign. As an independent musician in today's industry, it's really impossible for me to fund this project on my own. So I'm asking for my fans, my community, anyone who's watching this right now who is able to get involved. I don't ask this lightly, and I recognize it to be a really significant amount of money. There are some very cool rewards built into the campaign, such as private music lessons and private house concerts. Your contribution to this project doesn't just support the making of an album, it promotes the values that this album represents. Honesty, vulnerability, self-acceptance. Without these things, we couldn't process grief in a way in which we're able to grow from it. Without these things, you can't tell a good story. This album is my grieving process, and my hope is that it speaks to people and inspires people and reminds people that there is beauty in all things. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your time and your contribution.